Hi, this is Zubborn1975 and welcome to Elite Dangerous. Today I'm going to bring you a nice calm video, a guide to some of the ED chatter. Now I talk in a lot of jargon when I play. There's a lot of jargon involved in the game. This one always makes me laugh because a lot of people don't actually know what the 07 means, but they're too afraid to ask. So if you ever wondered and didn't know, there you go. This one, high waking. I always talk about high waking away from combat because you're not mass locked. Well, that's basically just hyperspacing to another system. The other one, low waking, is when you jump up to supercruise from normal space. Now that is subject to mass lock, which is why in my escape evasion guide I constantly talk about high waking, high waking, high waking. Now there's a lot of abbreviations, silly things, like the third lance, for example, is known as the third lance, FDL, or the lance. That's not confusing in any way. Also, players on this game are very lazy. We don't talk about the full name of things. We always shorten everything to just two letters. Now we in this game as players shorten everything and talk about weird things like we'll say a bank rail when actually what we mean is a rail gun with feedback cascade that cancels someone's bank when they're trying to use their shield cell banks. So I put up a few examples, but what I'm going to actually ask people to do is in the comments on this video, just list anything you think people would like to know. That any sort of shortened or stupid abridged language that we use that people may find useful if they actually knew it. Because I'm a one, I do a lot of videos about Elite Dangerous and I do tend to talk in jargon. In fact, most people I know do when we're talking about this game. Because we just don't use the full names for things. Sometimes things are a joke, so the joke becomes what we call something. Griefers always refer to ASP exploders because ASP explorers go boom very, very easily. This one I talk about a lot. I talk about primo ammo, which I mean premium ammunition, the shortened version of premium, but it's any synthesized ammo that gives a damage buff. That is what premium ammo is. It's nice and simple. So your standard and your premium ammo that you synthesize gives a 15 or 30% damage buff. That people consider to be primo ammo. So I did a video recently, not so long ago, where I referred to a Primo MC30. And what I meant by that was a third lance using multi-cannons suspected of running Primo. The reason you talk about third lances and multi-cannons is third lance using multi-cannons is incredibly strong, and the cheapest synthesis premium ammunition to use is for multi-cannons. So, when people talk about the Metal Lance, they're talking about a very specific build, usually 3 PAs, 2 rails, but there's a lot of personal preference and a lot of people have different builds. But the Metal Lance is usually the current tournament 1v1 ship that everyone seems to fly. You won't see much of that on my channel because I haven't got the skill to fly it. Combat logging or clogging, or the clog, is something I talk about a lot on this channel. Which is just ungracefully exit the game during combat, often to avoid death. This is usually terminating the connection by switching your Xbox off, pulling the internet cable, doing whatever. We jokingly say that the pros have the Ethernet cable wrapped around their ankle and just pull it away. A menu log is different to this. This is exiting the game via the menu while in combat, the 15-second timer. Now, FDev don't see that as the same as combat logging, but many commanders will see it the same. Anytime you exit a game early to avoid death, you are going to get stick for it. So I wouldn't recommend doing it, even though FDev don't frown upon it. I will say pause this and read it. This is what Sandy Samarco of FDev said back in 2016. The official stance from FDev is combat logging is an unintended exploit and it is a bannable offense doing it. So anyone telling you should be doing it, don't listen to them. They are actually telling you to exploit the game. And exploiting can get you in a lot of trouble, so just don't do it. It's basically my suggestion. Also, if you're going to use menu logging to escape, it's quicker to high wake to another system, and you don't get mass locked. And unless they're using a Grom bomb, you're pretty much safe to go. And if you're that worried about Grom bombs or people coming at you with Grom bombs, fast boot FSD switches back on quicker than the Grom bomb cooldown timer. And the Grom bomb is the special missile you unlock from Yuri Grom. See, I'm even talking about jargon in my jargon video, but this is the most important bit talking about jargon. The act of entering a station without permission is known as doing a scooby. please do not forget this. This is vitally important, and spread it around everywhere. That is doing a scooby. That's an old joke from me, me and Scooby. This is an interesting one because people talk about putting your throttle in the blue, and that's that little marked area that's on your throttle. In Super Cruise, you use that to help you drop on places in Super Cruise like space stations or outposts or fleet carriers, and when you're in normal space, it's the region of your throttle that will give you the best results at turning. Really that simple. It's, but like I say, I can't cover everything in this video. There's so much jargon to cut through, so I've put some examples in, but please, just anything you think people would like to know, put it in the comments down below. Now, there are some important things to remember. The pirate orc equals snake. That is incredibly important, right? I can't stress that enough. So all you need to do is take away from this video that pirate orc is a snake, and that doing a Scooby is not requesting docking permission. Oh yeah, and I am the most toxic person in this game, bar none. So those are important facts to remember. And like I say, anyone put in the comments on this video jargon or silly things that people say in Elite Dangerous, and we'll try and demystify some of the stupid language that we use. Anyway, that's all from me talking. Thank you very much for watching.